What's going on, y'all? How's your guys' day going? Hope you're having a good day. My day's good. Thank you for asking. Quick cut to the chase. GTA 6 coming out, right? Everybody's hype. Everybody's excited. Everybody's freaking out. Damn near pooping their pants, right? And then, lo and behold, here we are. They're doing the same thing that every other greedy loser corporation is doing. And guess what? You want to know what the even better part is? You want to know what makes that even more crappy? Like as if you put a turd in a dress, so to speak, and then you sprinkled freaking corn on top of it, right? That's how absurd this is. You guys don't care. At least that's what it seems. The majority, right? The majority of people who are glazing, damn near getting on their knees, if you know what I mean, for GTA 6, for Rockstar in particular, only for them to spit in your face, right? Spit down at you, might I add, right? Just to prove how disrespectful I feel as if this is, like the situation in general, right? Gaming has been this way for the last almost 10 years, at least ever since Fortnite came out. It just seems like it's been money first, right? Ever since they saw, which is something I think a lot of people forgot, Fortnite made $1 billion off of nothing but cosmetics, which I don't even know if that's true. There might be some shady business going on there. That's besides the point. But it seems like ever since Fortnite's $1 billion from cosmetics alone, gaming companies have just completely just lost themselves entirely. It's become, I don't even know what word to use. I feel as if a bunch of executives walked into like a really crappy diner and they have their suits on, you know, and they have billions of dollars and stuff. Then they just went ka-ching, 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 and just started turning everything into the most modern, optimized, how to make the most money machine, basically. They turned, you know, chefs into a bot that just plops out food at you. That's how I feel like the gaming company, or the gaming industry has transitioned. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful in a very ironic way, right? Because all these companies, right, up until this point, company after company after company has been doing this, has been spitting in people's faces, showing just how little they care. And of course, the majority eat it up, right? They're pigs. They're like at the farm, essentially, just eating up their slop and they can't get enough of it, right? And so, of course, Rockstar decides to release GTA 6 around this time, which I also thought was very convenient. And it's no different. If anything, if there's even more support, I would say, I would argue that there's even more support for GTA 6's shenanigans, for Rockstar's shenanigans, with the, first of all, you know, okay, look, $70 or no, $80. $80, I think. At least I think. I might be wrong about that. I think it's $80 for the standard edition, either 70 or 80, regardless, doesn't make a difference to them, which is another thing I want to talk about, right? So, you know, the price comes out, cool. It's not $1 million like everybody was rumoring, you know, or spreading rumors, which I thought was really weird. I don't know, like it's just stupid, bro. Like, I swear to God, some of you just, like, you just want to talk. You just want to, like, make a video and just say anything. And so there was like thousands of people. Oh guys, GTA 6 is going to be $120. Oh guys, there's rumors that GTA 6 is going to be 300 gigabytes, $100. No, bro, please, for the love of God, use your brain for once in your life. And so anyways, that's besides the point, right? GTA 6 comes out, standard price, $70, $80, whatever it is. And then, of course, right, they tell you, oh, but guess what? Here's the kicker. You don't actually get the full game when you pay the full price for the game that you're expecting to get. You know, the game that's took 6 billion years, the game that's been in development since the dawn of time, has paid content. I mean, like you can't get any more. Like greed isn't even the word that we should be using anymore. Like, I would go so far to say this is just hubris at this point. Like the way in which these companies, let alone Rockstar, one of the most infamous, one of the most talented, you know, achieved companies to exist for literally as long as we know modern gaming to exist, right? Even they have stooped so low to just show you how little they care, how little this means to them, right? And look, I'm sure you have all your arguments. I'm sure you have like just thousands of thoughts flowing through your mind right now, just like how I am. But I need you to understand something that apparently everyone on the universe has forgotten. There's this phrase, right? And it explains everything perfectly. And it's very simple. It should not be hard to understand, which I don't know why I don't hear more people saying this or understanding it. All it is it's the principle. I swear to God, every single year, more and more people seem to forget what that means. I see it every single day. There'll be some dude talking about GTA 6 and how absurd it is that they're doing this for a game that is this revolutionary, right? Something that should be more than simply trying to make a couple extra bucks, because that really is what this is at the end of the day. Keep in mind, this game took $2 billion. We're talking about video games, bro. Video games. $2 billion. And you are defending this mega ultra gigantic corporation that has an infinite amount of money at disposal. And you think that because they are who they are, and that because they're releasing such a fundamental game in, I guess you could say, the gaming history, right? Gaming industry, so to speak, that it's perfectly normal. It's perfectly acceptable. You're like, oh, it's $20. It's $20. And then you want to know what another thing that I've noticed a lot is it immediately goes to ad hominem. I'm not trying to sound cringe when I say that, because there's been a surge of cringe people using illogical fallacies lately. But that is what this is. It genuinely is what it is. And if you don't know what that means, ad hominem is basically when you're having a debate with somebody and they use personal attacks to defend their mentality, right? And so that's essentially what's happened, right? You'll see somebody, again, talking about GTA 6 and how absurd it is. Again, because of what I said earlier, it's the principle. Nobody actually cares about the fact that it's $100 to get a couple extra things. It's the fact that they are so willing, they're so stubborn, they're so adamant that they are willing to go the extra mile over something that is literally nothing to them. It's a drop in the ocean, right? And so we could both use the same exact argument. You could be saying the same thing I'm saying to you. However, we're just normal, everyday people, bro. We're not a mega corporation. We have no interest in whether or not they make $60 billion or $70 billion, because it's the same to them. It's all the same. It doesn't matter. They could have spent $10 billion. They could have spent $20 billion and it wouldn't have meant anything. That's the point that these people that are saying these things about GTA are trying to make. Let me give you an example. If you've watched me, you already know what kind of analogy I'm probably going to get. It's always food. And it works perfectly because of how simple it is. Let's say you and I are, I'm selling you food, right? Regardless, doesn't matter what it is. It could be steak, it could be burgers, whatever you want. I'm selling you something and it's going to take me a really long time to make this thing, right? And so I tell you, hey, this thing is probably going to be around this price and it's going to take me this long to make it. And then you go, okay, cool. And then the day of, I go, hey, I don't mean to be a jerk, but it's going to be another $5 for barbecue sauce. You'd look at me and you would walk out the door. You'd look at me and be like, what? $5? $5. I'm about to pay you such and such amount of money for this giant, let's say like a pound, like 3, 4, 5 pounds of whatever meat you're buying, right? And $5 is what you're interested in for barbecue sauce? Barbecue sauce. We're talking about barbecue sauce, a sauce that I could just go get right now and put it on there. You're tripping about $5, right? Or I could even give you another analogy. Your homie, right? Your best friend, right? You guys are like 12 years old. You go to the gas station and you buy him, or no, he buys you, something, whatever, right? He buys you something, $3.50. 6 years goes by. Hey, dude, I'm going to need that $3.50. You'd look at him and you'd slap him in the face. You'd be like, what are you talking about? It's the same exact thing. I need you to understand that. Because again, it's this like marvelous, just like the most technological advancement apparently in history, that people have seemed to completely forgotten that what you do is a representation of how you think of people, how you treat somebody, and the things you say and how willing you are to do certain things says a lot about you. So yeah, sure. At the end of the day, it's a business. At the end of the day, this is Rockstar we're talking about. One of, if not in my opinion, the most greedy companies to ever exist. But I need you to keep in mind what it is they are asking, or not rather asking, what it is they expect of you, right? They're looking at you and they're saying, we expect you to pay that extra 20 bucks, right? If you want to make your character have a fade instead of the most ugly looking haircut, right? Because that's exactly what's going to happen. I'd bet you any amount of money, if you buy the base game, it's going to be complete dog water, right? At least the customization, because that's what they're selling, which again, just proves my point. It proves my point. It's no different from Valorant, right? Like if you've watched Angry Joe Show, if you're somebody who's been watching him for a while, you probably know what I'm going to say, right? You want to pay $50 for the color blue? You expect me to pay you 30, 20, 15, 10, $5 for blue? If you don't know what I'm talking about, Angry Joe Show did a video about Valorant and how absurd their prices were for cosmetics about a gun, right? Just one, sometimes it would be a bundle. Other times it would be one gun, and it would be the color blue. It wouldn't be anything magical. It really wouldn't make that much of, like, it wouldn't be that insane, right? Let alone if it should even be anything more than a couple dollars or something that you can just buy in the game, right? It's the same exact thing. And they do it every single year, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And I swear to God, I'm starting to think some of you are that, if you've seen that meme of the guy where it's like, I love capitalism, the sign guy, right? Where he has the hat, the t-shirt, and then the sign, and it says, I love capitalism. I love capitalism. I love capitalism. That's what you guys are now. And look, I'm not being political when I say that. I'm just trying to show you how, I don't even know what word to use. You guys have become, it's like, I want to use the word reprobate, if you know what that means. It basically is just a way to describe somebody that is stone in their thinking. Like they are incapable of changing their mind about a situation or about a thing. And it doesn't matter that this is Rockstar. This should not mean anything to you. It should be the same across the board, because that's the way it was for such a long time with anything, right? Look, I don't want to get too off topic. I don't think it's a coincidence that gaming has blown up in the way that it has, which I don't know if you know, but it has. Trust me. What we have now in terms of the lucrative amount of money, the insane amount of money that you can make being in the gaming industry, whereas if you were a company back in 2008, back in 2005, it's night and day. It's not even comparable. The scale would be it would go forever. That's how different it is, right? If you were a gaming company or a gaming developer well, I guess company more so than developer, but if you were a company in 2005, whereas if you're a company now, the amount of money, it's inconceivable, which, I wanted to talk about that. If you genuinely, if you can look at the fact that this company not only has $2 billion to make a game, not just that, because that's not just the only variable I need you to understand. And you to understand that is not the only thing at play when we're talking about this game. They not only have to have $2 billion to make a game, they have to have even more. They have to have 10 times probably, or who knows, maybe even five times that amount to just exist with what they have. And I know it might sound like I'm making a really big deal of something ridiculous, but I'm trying to explain to you that if they are capable of spending that amount of money just to make a game, imagine how much more money they have for everything else they do. To pay people, raises, promotions, You name it. Companies, right? They have entire companies across the world. Other GTA, they still have to keep GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2. They still have to keep that afloat, or at least with what, very little that they do. That still costs money, believe it or not, even with how garbage the online is for that game. But these things should not have to be explained, is the point, I guess, that I'm trying to make. I realize how off topic I got there. Let me circle back. I got into a whole bunch of different topics. Basically, the point that I'm trying to make is that there should not be a conversation, or there should not be the idea that you can even defend these things in the first place, right? Not that you should, because again, they don't care about you. They don't care. And it's very clear that you don't either, at least majority, right? Maybe not you specifically, but majority of people do not care. They would be willing. That's how much they are just glazing this game, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm excited too. I think it's going to be the most famous game to ever exist for a very long time. I genuinely can't think of another game that would top this one, other than maybe, Elder Scrolls 6, if that even ever comes out, which who knows? And if it does, it's not going to be any better than Skyrim. I know that for a fact. Regardless, I just need you to understand the absurdity, not only of the pricing, right? Because that's what we've been talking about this whole time, but of what it is that they're holding back too, right? Because again, it would be the same exact thing if you walked into McDonald's and you're buying a cheeseburger, right? And they told you it was going to be 50 cents for pickles. You're not only upset about the price, but you're upset about what it is that they're withholding. Because you obviously, being a normal person, understand how stupid it would be to put such a ridiculous price on something so trivial that you can't measure how trivial that would be. That's how extremely stupid it is, right? It would be the equivalent of saying that each individual tiny rocks that you can't even see are somehow way more important, right? Or, these little tiny rocks, right, inside this very big rock make it what it is. Like, no. There's too much going on there, right? And so it's not just the fact that it's an extra $20, because yeah, $20 isn't that much. Cool, right? But it's the fact that they're withholding basic game elements, things that have been in video games forever. Literally, since video games have been made, some of these things, right? Because if you release a certain type of genre, right? So if you're an open world game, there's going to be certain things you expect. If you're making a game about cars, you're going to expect cars to be the focal point. And so when you release GTA 6 and you look me in the eyes and you tell me you're not going to be able to have certain hairstyles because we want extra money, we want that little extra bit of cash, right? And I haven't even gotten into the topic of there having to be an ID verification, which that one I don't know if is confirmed yet, because I have been seeing a lot of people talking about it, but I haven't seen anything from Rockstar themselves. I'd have to check. I would have to do research. And that's another one of those things that there shouldn't be a conversation about it. There shouldn't be the need to debate about whether or not this is retarded, if this is ridiculous. In what universe does it make any sense for anyone to force you to give up your ID to play a video game that, mind you, which a lot of people have already said, is rated M? There should not be children buying this game in the first place, right? If you care so much, because that's what they always say, right? They always say it's about the children. And so, look, I know I haven't really stuck to a point, and I realize how all over the place this video is, but I'm trying to give you almost like an ESPN replay, play-by-play of every little minute thing that is causing not just me, but everyone else to feel the way that they do about this, right? It's just one thing after another. They spit in your face, they slap you, and some of you are just willing to literally die for GTA 6. Some of you are willing to die for Rockstar. This will be the new era of video games, for sure. This will kick off the new, I don't want to say new world, right? It's not that serious. Well, it could be. It might be. I wouldn't be surprised. But regardless, I am fully expecting this to be what kicks off what we know gaming to be for the forever from now on, right? This is going to, it's going to change everything. It's going to change just anything that you can think of, really. And the sad part is that it'll never die out. Because you see a lot of people talk about things where they say like, oh, why don't you guys just not buy the game? Why don't, why don't we force them to change? Why don't we do something about it, right? And I used to be one of those people. I used to be the type of person who thought the same thing. If you just stop buying the game, that they'll learn, that they'll try to change. But it really has gotten beyond that now. And I do mean that. It really is beyond the point where none of us would have to buy these games and they would still have the money to do the things they do. They don't need you. They don't need you to buy this game. That's how much money that they have, right? And you know how I said earlier, how insane the financial, just everything about how gaming is now in terms of money, is that's how bad it's gotten. I genuinely do believe that they could just do anything they want and that they would have enough money to continue to do so. Like GTA 6 could flop, like terrible, absolutely horrible, horrendous, and they'd be fine. I don't think they would be comfortable. I don't think that they would be just doing anything really, but I think they'd be okay. I think they'd be able to bounce back. That's how much money they have. And so, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this rant. Hopefully I was able to show you just how insane this is. Hopefully I was able to not necessarily change your mind. That's not my goal, but just put the reality in front of your face. Because I feel like it's very easy for us, especially because it's video games, which again, I feel like it's not a coincidence that video games specifically have blown up in the way that they have, but it's just become so easy for people to latch on to this false reality or false image of what they think gaming still is. And it's just not. It's not that way anymore. But anyways, like I was saying earlier, got off topic again. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for watching.